We continue now at the top of Daf Chof Beis Amud Aleph in Mesechet Kesuvos. This is Kesuvos Daf 22a. On the previous Amud, the Gemara discussed a case where two witnesses say that one of the three judges is disqualified. And so it says over there that the two other judges should testify that that third judge is qualified, and then they can ratify the shtar, they can certify the signatures on the shtar. So the Gemara wanted to know what kind of protest was made against this third judge. And the Gemara says if the protest was that that third judge is a gazlan, is a thief, and therefore he cannot be a judge, but who cares if the other two judges say he's not a thief? Treyu treinenu, that's just going to be 2 against 2. Rashi over here says Treyu treinenu ki amri lo gazal, when they say he did not steal, havalu treyu trey, it's just a contradiction in witnesses 2 against 2. V'lo miskasher b'hachin, he doesn't become kosher through that. The kaimelon l'kaman b'pirkan ein ir pachos mishnaim, because we're going to say later on that that original protest, it's not called a protest if it's less than 2 people, so we know it's 2 against 2 over here. So again, how does that help? And the Gemara continues, now let's say the person protests, or the 2 people protest and say that this third judge has a flaw in his lineage, he's not allowed to be an Eved. As Rashi over here says, let's say they testify that he's an Eved. We know that an Eved cannot be a judge, cannot be a witness, like we say in Bava Kama. And so the Gemara says about that, but for that, that's just revealing some fact that they're going to be able to investigate, meaning to say, it said on the previous Amud that if they've already signed the ratification of the shtar, then they're considered Nogea Be'edus, the 2 judges, and they can't testify about the third judge. But why not? It's just a Giloi Milsa, as Rashi over here says, Giloi Milsa Bialmu Misha Chasmu Amai Ein Meidin Olav. Even after they sign, why can't they testify about him? Mai Chashad Nogea Be'edus. You go, what is the suspicion here that they're Nogea Be'edus, that they have some interest over here? There's something that needs to be clarified. So it's something that will be revealed in the future. They will investigate and find out what his lineage is. And their edus is not dependent on what they say here. They're just revealing something that's going on. It's just a gilui milsa. What would be wrong with saying this even after they have already ratified the document, after they've already signed that it is a certified shtar? And so the Gemara says, Liola me malach, really, I'll tell you, ira de gazlanusa. The case over here is the protest is that this third judge was a thief. And so then the question is, why isn't it treyu trey? It's simply that the other 2 judges are saying, yeah, we agree that he was a thief, but we know that he did teshuva. As Rashi says, he returned what he stole, and therefore they're not really contradicting the other witnesses. It's not treyu trey. They're saying that he did teshuva, and that would, of course, be accepted. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rabbi Zera. Rabbi Zera says, Hamilsa me Rabbi Abba Shmieli. I heard the following from Rabbi Abba. V'ilav Rabbi Abba de Menako, and if not for the fact that Rabbi Abba from Akko reminded me of it, shechachta, I would have forgotten it. And the halach is as follows. Gimel sheyashvu l'kayim es hashtar. Let's say 3 people are sitting down in order to certify a shtar. Umei zechod mehen, and then one of them dies. And Rashi over here says, before they had a chance to sign and officially certify the shtar, one of the 3 died. So they write as follows. B'mozav talasa havina, this happened in the presence of 3, v'chad le'sowi, and one of them is not here right now to sign. Rashi over here says, the kiyum has to be with 3. If somebody sees only 2 signatures, they'll think it was only done with 2, and so that's why you have to write this language into the shtar. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak says, V'ikasa be'shtara denan nafek lekadmona beidina. Let's say they write the language that the shtar came before us to the bezdin, so sulot sarach, you don't need to write anything further because the word bezdin alone implies 3 people. But the Gemara says, is that really true? V'dilma bezdin chatzufu, maybe it's like an impudent court. A bezdin chatzuf is a court of 2 people. Shmuel, and maybe they were following Shmuel. The Amar Shmuel, because Shmuel says, Shnayim shadanu dinayim din, that if 2 people issue a judgment, it is considered an official ruling. It is an official judgment. Elashanikra bezin chatzuf, but that kind of bezin is called a bezin chatzuf. So just because it says the word bezin, how do you know? Maybe it's a bezin chatzuf. And so the Gemara says, Dichsiv beidina de Ravna Ashi. No, what they're going to write in there is, it's the bezin of Rav Ashi. And the Gemara says, well, what does that prove? Maybe the Bezdin or the Rabbanan of Rav Ashi's house, they hold like Shmuel. And the Gemara says, no, because you're going to write in there the language, V'amar lona Ravna Ashi. And Rav Ashi said to us to do it in this fashion, and in that case, you certainly know there were 3 people. Rashi here explains, Beidina de Rav Naashi, the bezin of Rav Ashi, Orcha de Milsa Nakat. They're just choosing an example. It doesn't need to be Rav Ashi. Shehu haya Rosh Hashiva b'masa mechasi b'meir Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak. It happened to be that he was the Rosh Hashiva in the days of Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, and again, this was originally Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak's statement. He was the Rosh Hashiva in Masa Mechasi at that time. To Mar de Shmaiter, Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak was the one that started this whole discussion. Devadai Beidina de Rav Ashi lo avdim betrain. The Gemara means to say certainly Rav Ashi's bezdin would not have functioned with just two judges. V'yamar lanu Rav Nashi, and you put in the language that Rav Ashi told us, he's the one that instructed us to certify this. To Kevin de Rav Ashi gufe his kikon iu vadai l'tlaso amar. Since Rav Ashi was the one that was involved, he certainly said to use three people. And the Gemara continues with the Mishnah, Ha'isha sha'amra eshes ish hayisi. Let's say a woman says that I was a married woman, ugrushani, but now I am divorced. Nemenes, she's believed. Sha'apesha asar hu apesheter, because again, the same mouth that forbid her is the same mouth that permitted. Meaning, had she said nothing, we would have never known she was an eshes ish, and therefore we believe her. V'im yesh edim shahaisa eshes ish. Now, if there are edim independently that say she was an eshes ish, v'hi omeres grushani, and then she says that she's a divorcee, ain't a nemenes. In that case, she's not believed. She no longer has the pesha asar pesha hitir. Amra nishbesiu tahorani. Let's say she says I was held captive, but I am pure. I was not defiled while I was held captive. Nemenes, she's believed for the same reason. Sha'pesha asar hu hapesha hitir, because again she has a pesha asar pesha hitir. V'im yesh edim shenishbis. Now, if there are witnesses that say she was captured, v'hi omeres tahorani, and she says that I was not defiled, I'm pure. Again, ain't a nemenes. She's not going to be believed because she no longer has the pesha asar pesha hitir. And the Mishnah concludes, V'im mishanisis bo edim. Now, if after she got married, then the edim come and testify about her, harezu lo teitze, so she does not have to separate, she does not have to divorce from the man that she married. Rashi over here says, Nishbesi levein ha'ovdei kochavim, she was captured among the idol worshippers. Utahorani shalo nevalti lovid kochavim, she claims she was pure, meaning to say that she did not have relations with the idol worshippers. Ne'emenes, she is believed, and muteris l'kohen, and therefore she's still muteris to marry a kohen. V'im mishanisis bo edim. Now, if after she got married the edim come, the Gemara mefarish ahayakoi. The Gemara will explain what case in the Mishnah this line is going on, because we had more than one case in this Mishnah. And the Gemara says, Amar Ravasi says, Minayin la pesha asar hu pesha hitter. How do we know this principle of pesha asar pesha hitter min Torah? How do we know it from the Torah? Shenemar, like the pasuk says, as bitina asati lo ish hazel isha. It says, I gave my daughter to this man as a wife. That pasuk is written by the parsha of Motzi Shemra. The person gets married and he claims she was not a basula, and really he's lying. Really she was a basula. So the father says, I gave my daughter to this husband, etc. And so therefore we understand the pasuk to mean leish asra. By saying I gave my daughter to a man, he now forbids her to everybody, because he's saying she's a married woman. But hazeh hitir, when he says it's this man, so he now makes her permitted to that man. So that's pesha asr pesha hitir. But the Gemara says lamali krab. But why do I need a pasuk at all to teach pesha asr pesha hitir? Svari, isn't it just logical? Hu asra, he's the one that forbid her. Vu sharila, therefore he's allowed to permit her. It's not something that we need a pasuk for. And so the Gemara says, you're right, Ella rather, kitztarich kral l'chid Rav Huna amar Rav. Rather, this pasuk of esbitina sati lish hazeh, it's really needed for the statement of Rav Huna amar Rav. The Amar Rav Huna amar Rav, because Rav Huna said in the name of Rav, minayin la'av shenemon lesor esbito min Torah. How do we know that a father is permitted to answer his daughter mida oraisa? Rashi over here says, shenemon lesor esbito kashikatana onara, when she is young, when she's a minor, shabiyad lakacha, that's the point in time where he's allowed to marry her off. The father has the ability to marry off his daughter. Kiramino and Perak Nara shenispatata minayin shem amar kidashtia leploni. So how do we know that if he simply says, I married her off to so and so, that he is believed, he has the power to say that, and he's believed to ask her, and everybody, where's the source for that? Shenemar, like the pasuk says, again, minayin la'av shenemon lesor esbito min Torah. How do we know he can, by saying that he can forbid her? Shenemar, like the pasuk says, esbiti nasati lo ish, it says, I gave my daughter to this man, and Rashi says, esbiti nasati alma medidei talya nisina. You see that it's in his hands to give her away. Vehem nekro l'meimarachi, and also that the pasuk is believing him to make that statement, that I gave her away to that man. And the Gemara says, Hazeh lamali. So according to this drasha, what's the word hazeh for? As Rashi says, Kevin the lav la pesha asr miboile. If it's not needed for pesha asr pesha hitter, what is it used for? Miboile lechidetani Rabbi Yonah. It's needed for what Rabbi Yonah taught. Detani Rabbi Yonah, because Rabbi Yonah taught, esbiti nasati lish hazeh, I gave my daughter to this man. Hazeh v'lo l'yavim. It means this man and not the brother-in-law. Rashi meaning not this man's brother. As Rashi over here says, V'lo liyavam im hotzi shemra al nisua yachiv. What it means to say is, let's say the brother-in-law, let's say he was the motzi shemra about the marriage of his brother. Let's say he's the one that lies about her and says she's not a basula. She'ein hayavam nidon kamotzi shemra. The point is that a yavam, he does not judge the same as a motzi shemra. The halachas of motzi shemra apply specifically to a husband. They do not apply to a situation of a yavam. Layanish b'mea kesef. Therefore, he will not get the punishment of 100 kesef like the original husband does. This is going to be clear later on in Perek Nara that that's what it means. So again, that's what you learn from Hazeh, that the halachas of motzi shemra, they apply specifically to the original husband. They do not apply to the situation of yibum. And the Gemara continues, Tanu Rabbanon, the rabbis taught, Ha'isha she'amra eshes ish ani. Let's say a woman says that I'm a married woman. The Chazra v'yamar penuyani, but then she goes ahead, she retracts later on, she says I'm unmarried. Nemenes, she is believed. Gemara says, how could that be? When she said she was married, she creates an isra on herself. How does she undo that? Amar Rava bar Rav Huna. So Rava bar Rav Huna says, Kegon shenosna masla lidvareh. Very simple. It's if she gives a rationale for her first statement. If she's able to explain why she said something that wasn't true in the first place, then we can believe her second statement. Tanya nami hachi. The Gemara says we have a brisa that says the same thing. Amra eshes ish ani v'chazra v'yamar penuya ani. She says at first she's an eshes ish. She's married. Then she says she's a penuya. She's not married. Eina nemenes. She is not believed. V'imnosna masla lidvareh. But again, if she provides a rationale for her original words, nemenes, then she is believed. There was a story, there was an incident with a certain great woman, important woman, Shahaisa Gedola Benoy. She was also very beautiful. Many people were trying to betroth her, to marry her. And so she said to them, I'm already married. Then some time passed. She goes ahead and she gets herself married. She marries a man. So the Chachamim said to her, how could you do that? You said you were already married. Amr lahem, she said to them, no, in the beginning, so men were approaching me and they were not good men. So amarti mekudeshasani, so I said I was married in order to keep them away. But now that I've been approached by men who are fit, amarti vikidashti esatzmi. So I got up and I had myself, I married a man, I got married, and that's how she explained her rationale of the first statement. And this halacha Rav Acha Sarabir brought it up in front of the Chachamim in Usha. And they said exactly this idea. If she gives a rationale for her words, she is believed. Shmuel asked Rav the following question. Let's say she said, I was defiled. And then she says, no, I'm pure. What's the halacha there? He said to him, even in this case, the same thing. Again, if she's going to provide a rationale, and we'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Chof Beis Amud Beis.